right, we're going to continue our discussion here today and go in a different direction. We're going to talk about some things that I think are very important to you, especially if you're doing well in your life and you've got a family, you've got a successful business. And that's this whole idea of estate planning and probate, which is something that is bypassed and not looked at in an alarming manner. So I've got a guy here who's a very good friend of mine. We've known each other for a long, long time. We reconnected just this morning. He is a proud new member of our group, the Business Forum Group, came on board today, and Ernesto Martinez, Jr., PA. What's going on, my brother? How are you?
Good morning. Good morning. Good afternoon.
Good morning in Europe.
In Europe, yeah.
It's like happy
we met
hour.
This morning. So,
it's like happy hour. It's 5 p.m. somewhere in the world. Doesn't matter, right?
I believe it's a very important topic because I find a lot of business owners do not have their succession plan. Their business is shut down. They lose a lot of value. I deal with probate, with court work, and the family fighting, and we're discussing this. My preference is not to have any fighting, to have a good succession plan, to have it clear. I see a lot of terrible wills and plans that people have, which just creates problems in the family.
Absolutely.
With that, and a lot of people come in all scared about taxes, but now with the exemption more than $12 million, it doesn't impact a whole lot of people in terms of estate tax. But you do have to make sure that the family receives what they're entitled to.
Mm-hmm. Now, I want to let everyone know, tuning in right now, that Ernesto is not a rookie. He has been at this for a while. Not that he's old or anything, but over 30 years, right, my friend?
Over 30 years, unbelievable, right? We were discussing that.
We were discussing that this morning. So what you've got with Ernie is someone with experience, a couple of gray hairs like myself. So that makes us full of wisdom, right? And we've been there, done that many, many times over. And someone that just by instinct just understands what has to be done, what needs to be looked at in terms of estate planning and probate, because you hear so many horrible stories from folks that have done well and have left nothing for their families. So let's kind of hone in on that a little bit there. What is and really the ideal target client for you, and how can you help them? I mean, how can you make a difference and a positive impact for them?
There's a whole misunderstanding that it's only for people with a lot of money, small businesses that we deal with. I deal with big businesses, but also if you have your dry cleaner, you have your business, you need a succession plan.
Right.
Gas station owners, if you get up in the morning and you run your business, we're not around, who's going to take over? Who's going to keep that business running? Who's going to get your stuff? Mm-hmm. Whether it's $10,000 or $2 million, you want to make sure that your loved ones receive those business assets.
Now, there is we were talking a lot of times about folks doing at least a simple will for their families, right? And one of the things I can recommend that you do not do is go to a local office supply store and get your 1995 how to do your own simple will. Okay, and that's all over the place, and it's pennies, right? It's painless, but it's going to cost you a lot more in the long run because that do-it-yourself simple will just doesn't cut it, right?
Yes, I spent a lot of my time trying to fix those, and the Court of Inheritance, which is called Probate Court. And a lot of people are not familiar with the rules and violate them all the time. And in some cases, some things are not obvious. Someone comes in and says, I want to leave it everything to my kids. Their spousal rights. So you have to include the spouse or get a waiver for that. So a lot of people come in all mad because they don't realize that what was written on the will is not going to go into effect. But I absolutely know that person, that's what they wanted. So you really have to be familiar with homestead rights, elective share. Also, you want to, in some cases, I recommend trust. So all wills go to probate, not bad wills, not unclear wills, they all go to probate. And a lot of times for business owners, they can seamlessly avoid courts. I find people, although I do that work, want to avoid court work. They want to avoid the delay, having judges decide their fate. They want it all private, easily done, so that they can effectively transfer to mainly their children.
Ernie, what are a couple of examples of some horror stories that you've come across because of either no planning or not the right kind of planning?
Yeah, I see that all the time where their intention, there's something called a homestead requires that a spouse, to protect spouses, at least get a life estate, and they amended the law so people get half. And so a lot of times I see a simple will that says I leave it to my kids, and someone remarried, and then I have to tell I call every kid, even when they're 50, that now they're